Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here and you've just stumbled across this video, I hope you like it enough to stick around. And for all my returning subscribers, welcome. Thank you so much for sticking beside your girl. So today guys, I have a completely different video for y'all. It's not a vlog. I'm gonna be doing a sit down, answering some of your FAQs while I build my absolute favorites. In fact, I wanted to make like the normal chips kota, but unfortunately I don't have all the ingredients needed to make that happen, so I opted to make a minced kota instead because I still like that, you know, also with a little bit of a motwana on the side. Motwana, known as chicken feet, or as Americans call them, chicken paws. So yeah, that's what we're doing today. Hope you guys enjoy this video. If you like it, please like, subscribe, most importantly, and don't forget to leave a comment and tell me what your favorite part of the video was. Love y'all, and let's get straight into it.
Where did these be at when they say they doing all this and all that? Tired of beefing you bombs, you can't even pay me enough to react.
I have already prepared the food. I've cooked everything. All we're going to be doing together is building the kota and then yeah, answering the questions as we move along. What made you decide to become a chef? So initially I wanted to be in the entertainment industry. Like, if you know me, you know that I just love being in front of the camera. I love acting, I love presenting, I just like love being on screen, and so that was my first choice. But sometimes growing up in a black household is tough because then our parents don't necessarily like see I should be eating. Our parents don't necessarily see things how we see them, and so my mom was just like, nah bro, there's no money on television, and so you just need to make something of yourself, you know, and then maybe one day you can come back to television. So then I was like, I bet, what else can I do? I'm just gonna like cook. Because also I think the reason I chose being a chef is because I've always loved to cook. I grew up cooking. I used to burn everything. That's how, actually I'll tell you guys how my company name came about. I used to play around with food so much. I remember during lockdown the one time I made pink dombolo, guys. I cooked dombolo, but I put pink food coloring. So I've always like been very creative, and like I love playing around with food, and I wanted a course that was going to be very short because then I quickly wanted to get it out the way so I can then focus on like my passion, right? Which is why I then decided to do culinary. But once I was in it and I was like studying towards becoming a chef, I enjoyed it so much that I, you know, decided, okay, maybe we could actually obtain both qualifications of being a culinary as well as a pastry chef. And that's how I sort of like, you know, continued and furthered myself. What is your culinary education background, and did you receive your additional training from a culinary institute? Yes, I did. I studied at the Johannesburg Culinary and Pastry School. I did my diploma in culinary, and then a couple of months after I graduated, in fact, a couple of months after I graduated my culinary, I then decided to further my qualification by doing pastry as well, so that I'm qualified in both culinary and pastry. So then I did my diploma in patisserie, so which makes me a qualified culinary and pastry chef. How would you manage your management style? Honestly, I've mostly worked with people that I know, like who are my friends, especially when I'm working on gigs or chef's tables. I mainly work with people that like know me, and you know, I went to school with. Some of them are people I went to school with, some of them are just like my friends. And so I would like to think my management style is pretty chilled. I'm not, well, apparently I'm strict, that's what they say, but I don't think I am. Apparently I'm strict, I don't think I am. But I think for me, once I really get into the grind of what we're actually doing, I become extremely serious. I think I'm a perfectionist as well, and so I hate it when things don't go the way I want them to go. And I think that's where most of the frustration then starts to stem from, you know, because when things don't go accordingly, then I start to lose my shit, you know what I mean? And yeah, I think all in all, I think I'm a great manager. I think I'm not too harsh, but however, I do set boundaries, and I don't like those boundaries to be crossed, because when they are crossed, then it's like, bruh, we're gonna put the friendship aside. Now we're gonna talk as, you know, co-workers. What qualities do you believe make a good chef? I think a good listener makes you a great chef. I think somebody who is creative, because sometimes you're put on the spot, especially when you're competing in competitions or anything of that sort or anything of that nature. You need to be able to think on the spot. You need to be able to play around with food, like with ingredients, and, you know, think on the spot. Make sure that you're able to make a dish out of anything and everything. And so I think that is a great quality to have: creativeness, listening, great listening skills. And I think you just need to not be a person that takes things personally, because in the kitchen it can get really tough. And so if you're going to be taking things personally, then I'm afraid the kitchen is not the place for you. Like, a lot happens and people get pissed all the damn time. People say things that they shouldn't be saying. And I think all of those things are said out of anger or out of frustration or just out of, you know, things not going accordingly. So you just don't take things personally. Leave your attitude at the door and all will be great. The next question is, how do you manage conflict in the kitchen? Well, I think first of all, there needs to be a level of respect. Like, before we can go anywhere, I don't care what position you occupy in the kitchen. You could be my boss, you could be my colleague, you could be, you know, somebody who is just, I don't know, mopping the kitchen. I don't care what position it is you hold. There has to be like a basis of respect before anything else. And so, first of all, respect people. Secondly, I think communication is key. You just need to be able to address things in a way that is not gonna, you know, come across as you being aggressive, or I don't know, like, just don't be disrespectful. Like, if there's something that you're not happy with, address me with respect, and let's sort it out. I'm a person who's very confrontational, and by confrontational, I think that's why most of my friends think I'm strict. I call a spade, but I also do it with respect. Do you understand? I'm not going to be disrespectful. If there's something I'm unhappy about, best believe I'm pulling you to the side and I will tell you exactly how I feel about it. And when I address issues, before I can even address it, I'm going to think about it, think about how I'm going to say it, what it is I'm going to say, and think of a solution, because I'm not going to come to you and say, I'm not happy about what XYZ, and then not come up with a solution. I think about things. Like, once I'm ready and I have a solution, I will come to you. So yeah, I think communication and just like, let's be respectful of each other, honestly. Okay, do you enjoy working in a restaurant setting or the private chefing stuff? Yo, guys, honestly speaking, I think if you follow me or you just like know me, you will know that I'm not a fan. I'm really not a fan of like restaurant work at all. I hate working in a restaurant. I just think that environment is not for me. And I think this is just based on the fact that I've worked with such hectic people. Like, my former bosses have made me absolutely hate working in a restaurant, because they just don't respect people. I think they look down on, or rather they looked down on us so much that it just like they were speaking to us anyhow, and I didn't appreciate that. And when you tend to stand up for yourself, then you come across as confrontational, as disrespectful, as, you know, she doesn't know her place. And sometimes, like, and that's the thing with me, guys, Mina, I'm not going to keep quiet. Like, I'm just not going to keep quiet. And that's why I don't think the restaurant environment is for me. When I'm not happy, I'm going to say it. And in most cases, I may come across as challenging or, again, disrespectful. But also, like I said, I will never go to my superior and disrespect them, because at the end of the day, I am in need of that job. Do you get what I mean? I need to get that bread. So also, they can't fire me because my the way I addressed things was professional. So they can't fire me on the basis of disrespect because I wasn't disrespectful. So I always try to make sure that even as I address things, I'm still safe in my job. How did you get a job in the USA? So I was working, just a quick background, I was working as a private chef and I had started this new job. I think it was in 2024. Yes, beginning of 2024, January. I started working as a private chef and it was really great. I did that for 3 months and I remember at the end of March, I was just like, nah. Or it's like, my boss was so horrible. She's like such a horrible person. I'm sorry to say this, but she was so horrible, so mean to me. And the job that I was doing started feeling like I was a helper in that house because there was just certain duties that I'm just not supposed to be doing. But you know, it is what it is. Then I quit my job and I was now like in the job hunting phase on Facebook, searching for chef jobs, searching for chef jobs abroad. And so I surprisingly came across a post of a lady who is an agent rather, I feel like I don't want to give her a shout out because she did me dirty. But yeah, I came across her post and she was just basically advertising an internship program in the USA. And yeah, I took her number, I texted her, I did the application process, went for visa interviews, and yeah, then I left. How long have you been in the restaurant industry for? After that, so yeah, basically 2021 is 2025 now, so I would say roughly about 4 years. What do you think makes a great chef? Okay, so I think good communication skills make a great chef. You need to be able to communicate well. You need to be able to manage your time well. And I think you just need to understand your flavors, your taste, your food textures very well. And just like be artistic. Like your plating can't be boring. Like you just need to be able to think on the spot, outside of the box. If they give you like not one now, but make something out of it, you need to literally be able to think on your toes. So I think those 5 things make a really great quality chef. What is the hardest part about living abroad? Okay, honestly speaking, guys, like everything is tough. I'm not gonna lie, and this is just my personal opinion. Everything is just so tough for me. The culture is so different from what I'm used to back home. There's no emotional support, and based on where you are placed, you know, you'd be lucky if you're placed in a city that has like a lot to offer. But if you're in a small city like me, there's not much to do, especially because Mina, I'm such an outgoing person. If you know me, then you know that I want to be outside. I'm going to be outside on my off days. But here, I've literally been forced to just like chill indoors, or I basically do nothing. I don't do anything when I'm off. And so that has just like, yeah, it's been a lot for me. And yeah, I just think that just being away from home, the time difference as well is such a huge factor, because when it's daytime here, it's nighttime at home. And so sometimes if I'm at work and I need to like get a hold of them, it's really tough. Sometimes I go through certain things, or like I just experienced something really crazy at work and I need like an immediate reaction, but I can't because people back at home, my support system at home, sleeping. Do you get what I mean? So it's really tough. It is so tough. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's very tough. When is your next chef's table? I do not know, because my mind has just been like super preoccupied with like other things and looking forward to coming back home and just like catching up with my friends, catching up with my family. And so I haven't really thought about, in fact I have thought of, you know, hosting a chef's table, but not in depth. Like I haven't thought about it deeply enough to even like come up, because there's so much that goes into planning a chef's table, guys. It's a lot. And so it takes, already I'm dealing with so much that I just need to breathe. Okay, I want to get home and breathe first before I can think of planning a chef's table. But definitely before the end of the year, before the end of this year, I will have hosted a chef's table because I also need to show you guys what I've learned in the US, right? So it's coming. However, just know that my tickets, I'm selling them in dollars because yesterday's price is not today's price, my doll. Private chef, restaurant work, or hosting chef's tables. Pick one without an explanation. What? That is crazy. Private chefing, the restaurant is out. The restaurant is so out. Like I don't even need to think twice about that. Private chefing and hosting chef's tables. Oh my gosh, which one would I do? I think, guys, I really loved and enjoyed private chefing so much. Like I absolutely adored that career. I love it. I just love being a private chef. And I also love hosting chef's tables, but with a chef's table, it's an event that you can only do like every once in a while. You know, it's not something that, I mean, you can do it consistently, but also because it's so much work, I think it requires you to just, yeah, it needs the right team, the right venue, right, there's so much that goes into it. So they said no explanation, so private chef, thanks. What is the one food that you enjoy the smell of but don't enjoy the taste? This one is very easy for me. I love the smell of pistachio nuts. I absolutely like the smell of pistachio nuts. I love it. Give me anything pistachio to smell now, I'm going to fall in love. But I cannot eat pistachios. I can't. I hate them. I hate the taste. No. But the smell, love it down. How long did your longest relationship last? Yo. No, I don't know. I don't care either. Why do you consider yourself lucky? I actually don't think I'm lucky at all. I don't think I'm lucky at all. I've been through way too much. I just think I'm blessed. Do you assess yourself as a good cook? I'm a great cook, and not only that, I'm a great chef, honey. Thank you guys so much. Those are all the questions I got. I will do this again very soon. So if you would like part 2 of a sit down and eat with me, then let me know down below in the comment section. But I don't know. I think I've noticed that I'm not able to eat and talk at the same time. That's why I haven't finished my food. Mara, as soon as I stop filming this video, I'm definitely gonna get down to my food. And if there's one thing I absolutely hate is eating cold food. That's why I'm just like now kissing my food, because I absolutely cannot stand cold food. If you hate me, you must give me cold food. Period. I love you guys so much. Thank you for tuning in. I will see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye.